Everything was ready, waiting only for dawn. Mike covered the man with a wet towel to cool him down, while the woman observed his vital signs. But the first experiment failed. The man was in so much pain, he nearly fainted. But this was the purgatory vampires must endure to become human. They could only continue. Finally, after the third attempt, the man successfully turned back into a human. But before he could catch his breath, danger struck again. Last night, while escorting a group of humans back, they were ambushed by vampires, and through the radio, the vampires learned of the woman's hiding place. At this moment, the vampire army was driving toward them. Fortunately, when they stormed the human base, most of the people had already evacuated. The man who had just turned human hid in the water and escaped. Then they drove to meet their companions, only to find their companions had already perished. This left the man puzzled, because vampires usually captured humans for farming, but this time they fed on them directly. It turned out that while the man was experimenting, due to severe shortages, the price of blood skyrocketed, and hungry vampires began to rob and kill. Seeing the situation worsening, the man quickly found his colleague, hoping to work on a solution together. He told him everything, but the colleague only agreed on the surface, and secretly reported him to the boss. Because he had already developed artificial food, and was about to succeed, he didn't want anyone turning human to ruin it. The woman sensed danger, and went to investigate. When the man arrived, the woman had been dragged into the darkness. Then the policeman appeared. The two had to flee into a room, but the man's vampire brother found them. Seeing his brother turned human, the younger brother was conflicted. He was the one who turned his brother into a vampire, because Edward had cancer at the time, and would die if he didn't become a vampire. In the end, after persuasion, the brother chose to let them go, but then he suddenly attacked Mike. Strangely, the younger brother also turned human. It turned out that humanized vampires could produce antibodies. This discovery inspired Edward. He went to provoke the boss. His goal was to enrage him, and force him to drink his blood. Then Edward bound the now human boss. In the elevator, hungry soldiers pounced on him, and those soldiers also turned human. Then they went on to convert other vampires. Thus a chain reaction began. The number of vampires decreased, until they all became human again. Finally, Edward took Mike and the woman, and drove into the distance. The sun rose as usual, bringing light to the world, and illuminating the future of mankind.